Coconut. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Venture Maidens. I'm very excited because I feel like we haven't played like an in-story episode for it's been a month or two, because we did our episode 69 adventure, and then we had our fun, horrifying Halloween one-shot, which I super recommend you all go listen to if you want to hear a super sort of bad time. So it was a really good time.
Watch it.
Actually, yeah, watch it. Watch
it
the
was
horror.
a really strong flip-flop from episode 69, the previous.
Yeah, we're all
it's just like, whoop!
Tropical spa to just like hell, mushroom hell.
I always giggle when Sage is DMing. Sage just like delights in like whatever fucked up shit is about to be spoken, and I'm just like, what's gonna happen?
Oh my god! And then we had Jen on too, who is a fabulous guest and just so many bugs.
Jen killed that character. That was, or not like I'm saying figurative. Like, oh, she killed it.
Killed it.
That was super fun to play with Jen. I was like, damn, I like your character, but she's real creepy.
Right? A little terrified also.
Didn't know how to feel. Didn't know how to feel.
Like Arnadell was kind of vibing with it, but like in a like, I'm into this, but I never thought I would be.
Weird. But anyway, that was that. We're one day away from Halloween. I guess actually the most important question before we start, what's everybody dressing up as for Halloween? Go. Nassim, what? Tell me. Do you have a costume?
I don't know. I have to dress into some kind of sci-fi thing, so I'm gonna, MacGyver some shit. Mm-hmm. Sci-fi futuristic something. Cool. It's gonna be shiny, I know that.
All right, Sage, tell me. Who are you being for Halloween? The most important question.
Brienne of Tarth.
Wow!
Oh,
that's
hell
such a
yeah!
good idea. Oh my god. Katie, go.
I'm actually gonna be like a walrus thing. I don't know if you guys have read the comic Saga, but
Yes.
I love that saga. It's so good.
like back there, I've got like a giant halberd, and my boyfriend's going to be Goose from that.
That's freaking
So,
cute.
Goose and Friendo.
I love it. Brittany, tell me.
It's a Renaissance gown that I made, and I'm really stoked about it. I'll wear it to Ren Fair next time if we can all gather.
Wasn't that the Ever After gown, right?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Not the white one with the wings. Everybody's like, oh, that one. I'm like, no.
Oh,
It's
her
the
like
first dress,
green
the green
signature
one.
look.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the
I
first
love
one.
it.
Can
Yes.
I just interject here and tell you that my boyfriend just brought me a pizza, a whole pizza
Oh,
just for
that's
me.
love. Pizza love. Pizza is
I could
love.
cry.
Wow, it's so beautiful. And then I am being, I mostly ask this question selfishly because I want to tell you all what I'm doing for Halloween. So my partner is going to be Lieutenant Commander Riker from Star Trek, and I am going to be Lieutenant Commander Riker's evil twin from Star Trek. So we're both going to be in uniform, except I'm going to have sick evil person mascara. So
That's hilarious.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
I'm extremely excited.
I was certain you were gonna say Beverly Crusher.
Hell
and
no.
I was like, you kind
Beverly.
of look like Gates.
Just got the wig in the mail, and I'm very excited. It's like season 2 Riker when he has that like weird little rooster thing going on. I'm extremely excited. Anyway, good. That's all the business we have to do. So we're going to do a recap. But this time, because we're getting into Arc 4 and there's a lot of information flying around, instead of recapping what happened in episode 69, which was kind of a fun one-off thing, I want to talk about what we know so far in terms of the plot, like what we're looking forward to, like get all the information that's flying around and what we have to do, basically, like what the next steps are. So we're going to do an information dump on everything we've learned so far that's relevant to what's going on right now in Arc 4. Boom, homework. Are you ready? I told you all to re-listen. Episode 69. 68. All right, let's do it. What do we know?
Nothing.
No, that's not true. You know so many things. What,
I know.
Or tell me what don't you know is maybe a better way to phrase that.
What the fuck is going on with Rem?
Sure.
Yeah.
I do know that freshly into my new patronage, the Raven Queen was like, you're going to need this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically a recipe to take her down.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of like, what,
Paralyze
the moment.
a god.
Yeah. And we're all like, huh, okay. Like, we wanted to go tell Rem, and then we're like, maybe not. And then we all just conveniently forgot about it. I feel like that is important.
Uh-huh. Why?
So we know that Rem assassinated Arafel.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that she has this thing called the Avatar, which is some sort of crazy relic that's ultra powerful in a way that we're not sure of yet.
Mm-hmm.
We know
Didn't you guys say she was like the daughter
she's
of
the daughter of Nerul.
And who's Nerul for the audience
God
at
of
home?
death.
Nerul is the evil god of death.
Uh-huh. What else do we
I
know?
want
Yeah.
to know, you know what I want to do?
Mm.
I'm going to call dibs on doing this as soon as we start playing. I want to march straight to his old room and ask when, how, and why the fuck they started dating and how long. What that relationship was about, because we need to know some of that.
Mm.
Spill the tea, girl.
Yeah, we need to know. Hey, so you and Rem, so that would be interesting. Because that might tell us how the fuck she showed up and how long she's been with the Sisters of Sorrow.
Mm. Uh-huh.
We know that Rem and Rana worked together for some unidentified amount of time since I guess since Rana disappeared when we got at the end of Arnadel's arc. They've been working together.
Wasn't she gonna kill him?
No, she was gonna kill the council that we were in front of, and I'm pretty sure.
Was
But what the fuck happened there? Because
Yeah.
since then, there's been like just like lost gap of time between her and Rana, and something has happened. I don't know if it's even still Rem, if it's some kind of something has infested Rem now, because that's totally possible.
Yeah, because Rana was saying that as time went on, she just got more and more like weird and suspicious, and talking about these people need to die. And he just was kind of like, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
just like really
Or-
plotting and doing things secretively and not telling anyone like her full motives. So
She never has, though. She's always kind of been like vague and elusive, and just like we never really questioned it because it was benefiting us. And also, damn it, I had a point about what y'all were saying. Oh, I was gonna say maybe like she got a little bit more spastic on the other hand because a facade was dropping. Maybe it's like her polyjuice portion's wearing off.
Oh. And what do we know also about our mission at large? Like, what have the Sisters of Sorrow told you? What's going on?
A hole in the thread of the tapestry of time is happening, and it's our job to keep that tapestry wholesome.
And Morden told Kara that that I am his official emissary in this matter, and that if we don't do something, the whole world will perish.
Yeah.
No,
Cool.
no pressure.
Oh yeah.
You can't
Thanks,
have that
Morden.
tapestry unravel.
And do we know anything about that suit of armor other than it's ancient?
Well, what do you know? What did you learn from where you found it?
That a
Bourbon?
bunch of different religions had worked together to seal it in. I
Oh,
remember.
yeah. Mhm.
And what else did you know about the place that was? Like where it was? There were a couple other details.
It's underground.
North Point, right? That's where
Mhm.
it was.
But the actual building itself.
Oh.
Actually,
don't
I think
remember.
I have a cool prop. Let me show you. Hang on.
It will.
I remember there was a
Patreon
big ass
package
pillar,
There was a what?
like a big ass pillar that we walked down.
Yeah, it was made out of something
Yeah,
different.
like a different
Yeah.
type of stone.
What was
I
weird
listened
was
to the recap episode, but damn it was again like 2 weeks ago.
yeah. It was weird though, because I remember when you were doing the astral projection thing. Like I remember there being like some giant scary monster thing you saw right before you guys like pulled back. We didn't really.
I didn't see what it was.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can. Oh. Do you remember this? The symbol that was on the floor of the wizard's tower.
Oh.
It was basically a wizard sanctum that you were in. This is what you saw carved on the floor.
Hmm.
Also, super Patreon package spoilers, everybody, but I don't give a shit.
Wow, you edgy.
Yeah.
Is that the suit?
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
The
Ooh.
avatar. Yes.
It's the avatar.
Wait, this draws attention to when Rem also transferred her soul. Remember with the soul switch? Soul swap?
Mm-hmm.
That was weird.
Wait, what was
Whoa.
that? I don't think I was here for that.
Oh no, this was a
yeah.
long time ago. We should also maybe question the wood elves, because that one old ass wood elf was like super knowledgeable of Rem. She's like, "Hey Rem, what's up?"
Yep. Hey, Grave
Y'all
One.
remember
What's
that?
up?
Yeah, fuck. We should. No, was it Brave One or Dark One or something?
Grave
like that?
One.
Grave
Grave. Grave One.
Them wood elves. Arnidal needs a big old apology. To them too. That still hasn't happened. But
Whoops. Yeah. Anything else y'all think is relevant before we dive into this?
Vlad.
What about Vlad?
He's always relevant.
Well, yes.
Highly relevant.
Vlad is always relevant, but I feel like Vlad might be. I don't know. The butler always knows. He's not a butler, but like that.
The butler
Vlad
always knows. Yeah.
Vlad fucking knows what's up, right? He's like the Alfred of the Elysium Keep. Like, I feel like Vlad probably has some magic of his own that might. I mean, he's always talking about like dead ghost shit. Like, he probably is a bit familiar with like death.
I don't know.
But I'm sure also that the Tsarina and like the whole royalty of the land, the dukes and duchesses and people and their relationship with Isolde in particular is going to play at some point into effect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm spitballing here.
That's good. Because you will all need your wits about you for everything that is to come. But I think with that, let's get started with today's episode. So last time we had on episode 69, wow, congrats, super cool. Basically,
Nice.
we all took a little trip to Wish, the Wayfarer's interdimensional day spa. We ran into some trouble there. It was super cute. Y'all invited Isolde to go along with you. You all had a ladies' night. It was very cute until it wasn't, but you handled it, so it's good. And then basically at the end, this like very strange alien purple person named Wayfarer had been like, so sorry that broke. Here you go. They'd given you a Wish business card. And then like, come back soon. Sorry. We'll fix everything until next time. So basically you had all been like bamfed right back to where you were when you opened the initial invitation. So you are currently in the Middle Sister Tavern, sitting around a table. You had like brunch and then you had gone to this thing. Now you can tell time has passed. Again, you're in the subterranean structure, so it's not like day changes tonight or anything, but like the food on your plate is all a little bit wilted. You know, everything like it's been sitting there for a while. Nobody's bothered to clean it up. So you're all sitting there kind of looking at each other. Isolde is like stacking plates and like trying to clean what's going on and like moving to put them on the counter. She's like looking around. Okay, well, I thought we had people who worked here, but I suppose not. All right. Well, and then all of a sudden she gets this very far away look. They're here. They're back. And she just, like, drops the plate and books it out of the room.
Car immediately runs after her.
Same.
Yeah. Sage, we got a note that you're a little bit quiet on your end. Can you...
I cannot make it any louder.
Okay.
It's all 100% as loud as it can be.
Okay, no worries. So you start booking it after Isolde, and very clearly she is moving towards the council chambers.
To the council chambers!
Yes. What are the rest of y'all doing?
I'm following suit.
Booking it as well.
Gotta get my girl.
Yeah. So you all are like hurrying, flying down the hallways of the Elysium Keep as you're making your way to the council room. And like just as you round the corner, from the other corner, you see just a huge group of people coming around, all led by Kristoff, who again looks just tired, like the same way as Isolde looked when she showed up. He's not so bad, but you can definitely tell it's been a long week of whatever. And following behind, you see Gidget and Aaron and Valerius, who are all down with him, taking care of business. And both Isolde and Kristoff sort of like share a nod, and then head right into the chambers. Yeah, Aaron looks at you, Arnadel, and like, you know, gives a tired smile, and Gidget, it just like runs towards you, Kara.
Oh, Kara
Definitely.
definitely runs towards her and then like swoops and picks her up and like gently brings her down to a big hug.
Yeah, she makes like a poof, like sound as you kind of squish her. And she's like, oh God, it's been, yeah, all right. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Britt?
Oh, no, Arnadel would definitely, like, run to be affectionate with Aaron.
Yeah.
He gratitude to see him.
Yeah, he like, you know, squishes you to him. And he kind of, like, drops his head, like, on your shoulder and just sort of, like exhales. Clearly, yeah, nobody has had a great time. And Valerius is like, well, fine. And he kind of looks at Farah and like,
Hey.
He comes and gives you like a pat.
There's D.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, everyone. Horns. It's going crazy out here. Anyway, so yeah, you all kind of rush into the council, definitely getting that vibe like, hey, there's still business to be taken care of. And immediately you see Isolde and Kristoff are already locked in conversation. And he turns to all of them. It's good to see you all. Thank you for coming. I know this is all rushed and communication has been poor, but we're all back now and we need to share everything we have, everything that's happened. Please. And he, indicates you all should sit down. And he goes like, Vlad, and then Vlad is like there in the corner. He looks around. Sirs and madams, can I get you refreshments?
The usual, Vlad. Thanks.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't think we have to tell him. We're just like,
Coffee black as a Barovian night. and then he sort of waltzes out of the room. And everybody's just, that everybody collectively like looks after Vlad. It's like, what? And Kristoff, yeah, he goes forward, sits in the chair and kind of puts his jaw on his hands and looks around. All right, let's just get started. The situation with the Drow and the Eladrin has escalated since the matron mother was assassinated. Her daughter has stepped into her place. Chadra is now leading the Drow. It looks like it's going to be war until this assassination is solved.
Rem did it.
What?
Rem, she did it. So I died. Okay,
I
died. Okay, yeah, all right.
Everybody looks at Kara. This whole fucking group. They're like, what?
You guys didn't tell them?
And Isolde, looks, and Gidget looks so mad. So mad. Her skin is turning, bright red to, almost match the hues of her hair. And Isolde kind of folds her hands and says, I didn't think having to deal with that in the middle of everything else was the most relevant, considering that I solved the situation.
I mean, yeah, clearly. Okay, yeah, so let's back it up. We went into a pillow where we knew what magic thing was. We fought off some drow. They were trying to go after this thing called the artifact, which is some crazy powerful suit of armor that Rem put her consciousness into. But before she did that, she asked me to kindly step out of her way and take this thing for the chance to be able to save my parents' souls from purgatory. And I said, yeah. And she killed me. And when I met Arafel in purgatory, it was, yeah, that's what we figured out. And then I got better, and Morden told me some things about how we need to take care of Rem, otherwise the whole world is gonna perish. And then Isolde resurrected me, and yay!
Yay! No, nope. Okay.
Anything else?
I mean, those are the key notes, the highlights.
And okay. and Isolde is just sort of nodding her head along to everything, and then Kristoff is trying to follow.
I had Arnadel take down everything that I said in full detail after she resurrected me, so you should read that but I will tell you the whole thing right now.
Arnadel just pulls it out of the bag and hands it over.
Yeah, and both Isolde and Valerius are obviously going to read this thing. And Kristoff is that's All right, so we've got a lot, like I said, a lot to compare notes on here. We don't have a great deal of time. A delegation from the Tsarina is coming. I suppose that's the good news in all of this. The Great Council has concluded. Votes have been cast. We received the help we asked for.
That's good.
The refugees will be helped. And in very short order, the Tsarina works quite quickly. We actually have 2 members she sent personally to get this all started. So they should be along any minute now. But before that, Isolde, and yeah, she sort of takes the floor. I haven't had a great deal of time to move on everything I've heard with everything that's happened to Kara and this situation with Rem. My cursory divinations haven't revealed anything, but we're still waiting to hear back from our network. And she sort of nods at Aaron, and he nods. And there's a lot of, like, roles going around here that, like, you may not necessarily be privy to. And then Valeria stands up and is like, well, I'll see what I can find out. Should I get started right away? And Kristoff's like, yes, it's probably the best thing to do. So Valerius goes, and then he looks back at Aaron, who kind of like squishes your shoulder, Arnadel, and it's like, I'll see you in a bit. I just have to send out a couple messages, and I'll see you later, okay?
Oh, and Rana's here. Rana's in the dungeon. And he's been working with Rem, so we should talk to him.
All right. Good to know. This is all just... He doesn't really know what to say next. And Vlad actually comes back into the room as everybody's kind of like leaving. So Aaron and Valerius bounce off. And then, yeah, Gidget just looks around and I'm going to go check on some things. I'll just leave you all to it. And she still does not look pleased, Kara, with anything that just was revealed. So she gives like a glance to both you and Isolde and kind of leaves the room. So leaving the 2 of or the 4 of you with Isolde and Kristoff in the room. And Vlad just like, there's a moment of silence. He starts like pouring drinks, and it's just like that sound where it's like the
with Saya's hot
Click.
cup of tea like to her mouth, she leans in towards Farah and goes, maybe you can celebrate getting help with the refugees with Chance.
Farah's eyes go wide and she just looks over, and then they slowly narrow, and she takes her own tea and she's like, maybe I will.
everybody
Please give me advice on nice guys. I need help.
Go give him the good news.
Oh, Lord, spread the gospel.
Kristoff, he's like, oh, you've met Chance. I'm glad he's a good man.
Yeah, what do you know about him?
I've met him a few times. Everybody seems to respect him. He's a good leader, not a fighting man per se, but he seems like a good sort.
Good to know. She just kind of takes another sip of her tea, calculating.
Well, anyway, and he starts to like raise his teacup, and just as this happens, 2 more people walk into the room. 2 people you have never seen before. One of them is a woman with darker skin and sort of this wiry afro, and she has strapped around her a series of bells on her chest. So like the same thing you've recognized, you've seen with Rana. So this is clearly a Corellin. And she steps in the room, and slightly behind her is an Eladrin woman, very plain looking. She's got black hair that's like pulled back. She's in just a simple movable robe. And as they step into the room, Kristoff stands up, and he's like, it is good to see you. Chidi, the Maidens, and Chidi, so the woman with the darker skin, nods her head. And he points out, he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't catch your name." And the Eladrin woman says, "Mira, it's a pleasure." And the woman named Chidi sort of, she looks at you all and makes a hand gesture and nods to each of you. Farah, you would recognize this as sign language.
Farah signs back and says, "Welcome, nice to meet you."
Mm-hmm. And she smiles around the room, and then they both sit down at the table. And Isolde kind of looks at this Eladrin woman and sort of like squints for a moment. I'm sorry, do we know each other? And the woman, nope, haven't had the pleasure. Mira, and like kind of sticks her hand across the table. And Isolde nods. It's like a very weird interaction. Anyhow, these two were sent by the Tsarina to... I'm sorry, perhaps you would be able to explain it better. And then, Chidi nods, and she begins to sign. So, Farah, you understand that she's saying, basically, they've brought everything they need to bring a Fey tree into the area, which will restore the land and basically make it farmable, everything. So the rest of you, so Saye, Kara, and Arnadel, do you think you would know common sign language?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I doubt the dwarves probably would have incorporated this.
I might know some basic signs like my name is, hello, thank you, stuff like that, but not like I couldn't carry a conversation.
Yeah, Arnadel would have read extensively about the history and like the linguistic aspect of it, but she wouldn't, same thing. She would know the alphabet and like hello and thank you.
Yeah.
Same as Saya.
Yeah, and then Farah,
but
course...
she could tell you all about the history of it.
Yeah, I know. I know. And of course, Farah, everyone in the plains is basically taught this alongside with normal common growing up. So to you, it's second nature. And both Isolde and Kristoff don't seem to have a problem understanding. So sort of, Arnadel, Kara, and Saye, there's this whole conversation going on. Just flies over your head here.
I think Farah, is kind of like looking and then like kind of like looks back to like see reactions, from the rest of her friends and everything. And at some point she kind of realizes like they don't know what the fuck she's saying.
Yeah,
so
Farah has a totally blank face.
She'll like interpret, ask permission to like interpret after, a chunk of what she says for the rest of the maidens.
Oh yeah, and Chidi's eyes grow wide, and she looks around at all of you, and makes a gesture that's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize you weren't native." And then she'll like nod Farah. Yeah, absolutely. So Farah, you can easily communicate. Well, it's not actually so easy because what she's explaining is sort of odd, what they're going to do. So basically, this Corellin and Mira, they have come to put what is called a Fey tree in. So Farah sort of knows generally what this is, but if you all want to make like a nature check or an arcana check to see what else you might know about that.
Oh, that's garbage.
I'll call that Arcana. I got 24.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 11.
Okay.
I got a dirty 20.
Woo! Okay. All right. So both Saye and Arnadel, you've heard of these trees before. So it's sort of like, because the Feywild is very close to the material world, like in terms of the locations of the plains. So there are places like, like fairy circles, like you might accidentally stumble into the wilds or something like that. So Fey trees are actually a cultivated way to connect a place, the Feywild, to the material world, like in a very real and tangible way. So you can draw energy from either plane back and forth to each other. And Farah, you would know that, even with basic knowledge, that in the plains, basically every major settlement has a Fey tree. incorporated in it. Just having a Fey tree around like increases the vitality of a place, the growth. It just brings a lot of like lush land and energy and potential to a space. Both, again, Arnadel and Saya, you would know these come from the summer courts of the Fae. So these are like the beautiful, happy, like friendly Fae trees as opposed to some of the darker things that lurk inside the Fae.
Sad Fae.
Yeah. So basically what Chidi is doing here is she's going to use her power to draw a Fae tree to this place. And then Mira looks...
To summon it?
Yep. From the Feywild to the material plane.
Them bells.
Yeah. And Mira, is following around with everything, and I suppose that's where I come in. This ritual is, well, it's incredibly dangerous to bring something this large through, and it's very rare that it'll just be the tree coming through. So we are going to have to stand guard while this happens. As Chidi has to focus on this entirely. And Chidi nods her head. Right. So any able-bodied fighters you have?
You can count on all of us.
Yeah,
Both
we're all
dealt
just
with
like,
things from the Fey realm, so.
Yeah. And she nods. Yeah, so that, and I would recommend also evacuating anyone anywhere near this town, just as a heads up.
Oh, I mean, we should probably, tell Chance and all of them down there.
Yeah, you should probably tell Chance.
I probably should, Saya.
And Kristoff is looking back and forth at the two of you. He's like, yes, I will also go with you to tell Chance. We can begin immediately. I don't know how long you're going to be here. And Chidi signs something, and she's like, oh, she's on a very tight deadline, and basically needs to do this as soon as possible. She's needed other places.
Yeah.
You.
All right.
All right. Well, let's get this done. Is there time for a rest or any? And Chidi's like, and like, okay. She absolutely shakes her head no, and Kristoff's like a weary sigh, and is like, all right.
Farrah just kind of like signs to her like, "High demand woman," and waggles her eyebrows.
Yeah. Chidi laughs, and she's like, "Well, those Fae don't conjure themselves." Yeah. Oh, and Chidi also kind of pauses for a moment, and then she signs. She's like, I heard that you have another Corellin who works here. Is he here?
That's Rana.
A bit indisposed at the moment. If it would greatly help, I'm sure that he would be able to muster himself together.
And she nods and signs back like maybe later if it works out. All right. Yeah, so basically, so Saya, you want to head down with Kristoff and... Oh, I'm sorry, Farrah, you want to go alert Chance?
Yeah. She just kind of like, grooms herself a little bit, pinches her cheeks. And she's like, okay, well, yeah, if let's do it. This is fine. Saya, as we walk, tell me, what are things that well-rounded good people do regularly?
Well, you're taking a good step right now, being a helpful hand to Chance, so I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, just offer to help him escort some people, and we'll meet you down when it's time to summon.
Yeah, okay. Help some grandmas and children, they love that stuff. Okay. I'm not nervous.
And yeah, Chidi's looking back and forth between the two of you, and she also, says like, I'll go down with you and, scope out the area. She asked Mira to come with her as well. Yeah, and signs again, like this will probably take a couple, or no, Kristoff would be like, I'll probably estimate it'll be a couple hours to get everyone out of town. So you have whatever time you need to prepare. And you see again, Isolde is just looking at Mira like this really weird look, and she just shakes it off. And I'll.
We noticed that. You don't want us to do no, it's noticeable.
I think she's being pretty
obvious.
If you want, you can like maybe make a insight on like the whole. Yeah.
I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Let me see what my insight is.
Saya rolled an 8. She's just too excited for Farah to go have some alone time with Vance.
Word.
I got a 19.
Okay. 19. You definitely feel like Isolde just can't get over that there's something about this person that she like recognizes and she's but not like
she's like being super well, and the other girl's being like super dismissive, like
oh yeah, super dismissive, and then also like legendary poker face. Like about this whole thing. Yeah, and it's that feeling where you're like, no, I know you from somewhere. Like, what is it? Or like you see an actor or like hear a name and you're like,
but equally important that the other person is like, nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory, it's the Tsarina in disguise.
Conspiracy.
I was gonna say Rem.
Oh.
All the conspiracies.
Who knows?
Uncomfortable.
You do.
I don't know. All right. So Isolde with that heads off towards the tower to do whatever she's going to do. Kara and Arnadel, what are you all up to?
You go first, Sage. Meanwhile, Celeste, did you read my note?
Wait, where? What? On what
platform? In the chat.
I can't look at... Oh, wait. I can't. Because I opened it this time. Okay. I'm reading it. Hang on.
I'm trying to like flicker
my
eyebrows, but it's really awkward.
Got it. Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Kara is going to go to her room and like write an I'm sorry, I'll give you some space, but I want to talk about this when you're ready to talk about this, and go and like slip it under the door to her workshop.
Yeah.
That's where she figures she would be.
Yeah, you do, and you definitely hear like an angry clanging from inside because you know that whenever Gidget is upset, she fixes things or tries to. Usually ends up breaking them more in the process. Yeah, so you can definitely slip that note under the door. And Arnadel, do you wanna do your thing?
Yeah, she's got some books that she wants. She like as you guys all go off, she's like, "Well, I'm gonna go like read in my room."
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll be there if anybody cares. And then, like, run.
Oh my god! so extra. If anybody wants me,
I'm just gonna be in my room.
Fine. All right. So that's what y'all are doing as Saya, Farah, Kristoff, Chidi, and Mira. Oh my god, so many NPCs. All in your party start walking out of the Elysium Keep. And the whole time, both Chidi and Mira are looking around like being inside the keep is a super impressive, super strange thing for everyone. So looking around as you're making your way down the steps. Kristoff is very silent. Obviously, Chidi is silent. Yeah, and Mira just kind of walking around looking at things. So are Farah and Saya making any noise, or is this just a very silent walk?
Yeah, Farah's just like got a nervous energy about her. And, you know, she'll occasionally, you know, say to Mira and Chidi, like, I know, like, I just got here. This place is nuts. You know, just casual conversation.
Yeah. Chidi is like looking around at everything and sort of nodding. Mira is like, I wouldn't have expected this. This is, the Sisters of Sorrow inside a mushroom cave. Like, what? And she's looking over the edge and, like, just,
Best sleep of my life, though, I gotta tell you.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Yeah, and Kristoff's, like, shoulders kind of, like, square up as everybody's talking, like, about the keep. And eventually you make it to the bottom of the stairs, and the cave opens up into the night sky, and the town of Newbreach lies out before you. So now it's a very, very small town, maybe like 50 structures. You've got like that one central kind of hub where you got like that food court that Dee has set up. There are a couple people walking about, but it's like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. So people are starting to turn in for the night. Yeah, and you can make your way to the All Faiths Temple, which is located just off of the main square. Again, this is a super rustic building, so just like stone and wood. Part of the ceiling isn't done yet, so there's like tarps that have been thrown over it. People are still painting it. Yeah, you just head inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So as you do so, you see that the interior of this place, unlike the outside, is very nice, very neat. Stone has been paved on the floors, and there are lots of rows of benches there. There's a podium up at the front of the room, but there's no other real iconography or anything. Since this is the All Faiths Temple, it caters to all different religions, so there's no, big symbols that rule over any others here. You see a couple of doorways lead off into the room, and Kristoff calls out, Chance, are you here? You sort of hear like a clattering sound from the back, and Chance just like pops out of the door, and he's wearing like sort of like an open like nightshirt thing. He's like, oh yeah, what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting visitors. He kind of like poses in the doorway for a moment. He's like, is this a right now situation, or can I go put on pants situation? Kristoff's like, just put on pants.
I mean, whatever you feel most comfortable with, though, honestly.
He looks pretty nice with no pants. His tail like flicks back and forth. Okay. I'm sorry. Make yourselves comfortable. He like pops back into the room and is like, you hear rustling sounds, drawers and stuff opening. Chidi like sits down and is kind of like looking inquisitively around the building. Mira looks a little bit agitated to have to wait. And Chance just starts yelling, so what can I help you with? Like from the bedroom. Well, and Mira yells back, we need to evacuate the town. We've got a situation brewing. Sorry, what? Why? And like
where there's gonna be a Fey tree brought in, which is gonna be great. But apparently other stuff can come with it. So until we know the coast is clear, and then it's just a good situation, we're gonna have to get the people out of here to safety just in case.
All right. You're muted. You're muted, Nassim.
I said it's just a precaution. We will have everything under control, and it was Farah's idea here to have us all come down and give you a hand.
Oh, that's mighty kind of you. And he like just gets out of his room, and he's still like tousled, but he's in pants and shoes. All right, well that's not gonna be super easy, but yeah, let's start knocking on doors, I guess. And and he sees the two new people, and he like sticks out his hand. Chance, and Chidi introduces herself, and then so does Mira. He's like, oh, all right, well, what a eventful few days. Okay, Farah, do you want to walk on the north side with me, and maybe you all can take the other side, or let's all just go in different directions. I don't know.
Farah's like, sure.
This is so cringy.
And as like she's walking towards them, she turns back at Saye and she's like,
Yeah, and Saya gives you a little the boob bump.
Farrah looks down at her very streaming body and she's like, okay.
Chidi puts a hand over her mouth and is just smiling to herself during this whole thing.
Farrah just kind of looks at her and just finds I don't know, braless and flawless.
She's live your truth.
Thank you.
All right, sweet. So you all just want to part ways about the town?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It does not take you very long to knock on every door because there are so few. So you go ahead, and a lot of people are in similar clearly getting ready for bed, winding down the day. And you go around and you're explaining the situation to them, and they're already they've been displaced before. They're used to weird things happening, and just also super grateful to the Sisters of Sorrow for trying to make a difference. So it doesn't take too much to get these people on your side. And Kristoff kind of stands back at the front of town. He's directing people in. He's having everybody go to the keep during all of this, just because it's going to be. He's not really sure what the scale of this is going to look like. And you see, Chidi starts walking about kind of the central areas of town. She seems to be scouting out, the best site for this to happen. Mira is following close behind her. So yeah, after about 2 hours or so, you manage to get everybody cleared out of the town. Chidi seems to have picked her spot, which is actually right in the center of town. She's looking at this food stand area, and Dee is sort of talking to her, and an agreement is made that the stand is can go. Dee looks a little bit heartbroken about it. But Chance is helping load out all the food and supplies and everything, and yeah, Chidi seems to be setting up her area. She's starting to draw these very large circles in the dirt, and she begins to actually unfurl what looks like a collapsible table. So she had this big pack on with her, so she puts this table out, and she starts to lay down actually a wide variety of instruments in front of her. You see drums and maraca sort of things, and then what looks like a harp. So all of these very rhythmic based instruments that she puts out in front of her, and you see eventually she rolls out her bells, which look similar in size and shape to Rana's, but they have different inscriptions on them and are made of this sort of coppery metal. So it seems like every Corellan probably has their own special set of bells. Yeah. So anything you all want to do before this starts?
Well, I think we should probably get the rest of the people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's go round up the maidens.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, the whole time beforehand as they're helping get people out, Farrah's just following what he does to help people get moved out. And at one point she just kind of looks at him and she's like, well, I know that evacuation wasn't really the activity that you had invited me to, but it's good to see you. And I just wanted to thank you for your visit the other night, just because, I said a lot of talking in circles, but it's sometimes good to work things out loud, which I wouldn't have done without you there. And I've just, been struggling a bit with stuff, but you were there exactly when I needed to talk to somebody about it. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
And yeah, he just a big old smile crosses his face, and he kind of nods his head, and he's like, I do seem to have, not to brag, a special talent for being a supremely good listener. So if there's ever anything on your mind, you can absolutely tell me. And hey, being here with you has made this whole evacuation thing a lot more pleasant than it would have been. So thank you.
Thanks. There's some other things that, I'd want to discuss with you. But maybe after an evacuation, And
Sure, he gives you
if
like,
everything goes-
yeah, his head goes to one side and he kind of like does like a eyebrow thing, and he's like, okay.
Great.
Well,
This is great.
he nods. He's like, huh, okay.
Nervous
Well,
sweat.
hopefully there'll still be enough of a temple left to come back to. We'll see, I guess. Luckily it's only half done, so it's only half the work lost if this doesn't go so great. And he's like eyeing this like big circle that's being drawn in the middle of town.
Sure, it'll be fine.
No, just gotta have faith.
Yep.
Okay. And with that, he like gives you a smile and starts to like help a bunch of people off into the keep. Yeah, and Arnadel and Kara, you get sent for. So we have a lot of people here now. So let me make a list for myself. Everybody who's going to be involved in this. All the warriors. So we got Kristoff. We got Mira. We got Isolde. We got Valerius. We've got the four of you. We've got Aaron. This is like the fucking NPC episode.
Oh my god. So you got your work cut out for you.
All right.
I was gonna say, should we add Rana to that list? Go fetch him.
I was wondering.
Rana would decline.
Okay.
Damn it.
He's still, feeling very sorry for himself sitting in that
Mood.
Get out of your fucking pity party and be useful
Big
if that's
mood.
what you're complaining about.
Seriously, you want to apologize? That's how you apologize.
Kristoff would also agree that probably keeping him in the cell is probably the best thing for now until they can figure out what the hell is going on. Okay. Yeah, right? Am I missing anybody? Kristoff, Mira, Isolde, Valerius, and Aaron?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
Gidget, if she wants to help, or she might still be mad.
She's not really a warrior. So I know we have, like, she can fight, but we haven't seen it in Adventure Maidens proper. So, you can't not be part of the Sisters of Sarah and, like, be able to, like, knock some heads. But this is some big juju, so.
Oh.
All right. So,
God.
I'll wait for Nassim to explain the rules.
I'm gonna go grab my water bottle real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, let me grab it. Let me grab a
Okay.
drink real quick.
Okay, yeah.
I need more brandy.
Oh my god. Wait, I might actually go pee real quick. I'm very excited. Okay.
One moment,
Okay,
everyone.
everybody, one sec. We'll be right back. My god.
Whew. My mouse died. I had to connect it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to roll anything or look at my sheet. I don't know if there's a screen up right now, so I'm just going to keep talking to myself. Hopefully, I didn't fuck with the camera and I'm still in frame. Ooh, maybe I'll go get a beer. I have some pumpkin drinks I need to drink.
Ooh, nice. I wish I liked beer.
I'm going to go do that.
I love the idea of having a pumpkin beer.
I said, oh no.
Do you not like pumpkin?
I fucking love pumpkin. I cannot stand pumpkin flavoring. Like, I will eat the
Okay.
fuck out of like pumpkin soup or pumpkin seeds, or I love pumpkin oil too. That's delicious on a salad. But
I've never had that.
flavoring I don't like flavoring. I'm like real sensitive about that shit. It's usually just too sugary. I didn't know did they make pumpkin beer?
Yeah.
Am I muted? No.
No.
Okay. No, I bought the Trader Joe's had some stuff because I had a pumpkin beer when I used to live in Hayward. There was a pumpkin ale or something like that. It was so good. It wasn't sweet at all. But then Trader Joe's had a couple pumpkin flavored things. So I bought two. I bought one beer and then I bought a cider. So I imagine the
love
cider will be
pumpkin
really
cider.
but I still wanted to try it and I haven't had it yet. So
Pumpkin cider.
cheers.
Baller.
Yeah,
I'm drinking
cheers.
brandy.
Woo! Y'all fancy.
I couldn't get my hands on cognac.
Is it the gourd tree? That's so cute.
Yeah,
Cute name.
it's good. It tastes like a pumpkin pie.
That's fucking delightful. Okay, also quick question, y'all mind if we go like 15 minutes over? It could go really fast. This could go really not.
Do it, honey.
All right, babies, let's do it. So the way this is going to work is that I have a certain number of rounds written down on here. Basically, your job is to make sure that Chidi does not get hit during these rounds. So you need to do everything in your power to make sure she does not get hit by whatever the hell is about to happen here.
These are always the literal most stressful challenges in any video game that you could possibly fucking play.
Yep.
Protect the baby. Don't let him get hit.
Protect the baby.
Oh my god. These always make my palms sweat and I get frustrated.
Tell me.
Go gadget Kara shield mode.
Kara different now. We'll see. I'm very excited. Okay.
Oh, damn it, that's right.
Great. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a
a
dice
barbarian. Don't worry.
to see how many rounds this is gonna last. Okay. Here we go. And I will also say there are a certain number of times that Chidi can be hit. If it exceeds that number, then you lose.
Yikes.
And I win.
Fun.
I win Dungeons and Dragons.
Forever. You
All right.
all die.
All right, let's have everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
Jeez, just throwing shit everywhere. Okay.
Starting off right with a whopping 4. Let's go.
I was waiting for your 20s to come back.
Yeah.
I got an 18.
Okay.
I haven't been a player in so long.
Oh no, you're magic.
Gone.
And Nassim, what'd you get?
7!
7. And Brittany?
I'm sorry. I got a 12. Lucy tried to bite my cheese and then I laughed and I accidentally spit cheese under her fork.
That's hilarious.
That's chaotic evil cheese.
That's so good.
That's also gross because I'm pretty sure it was like witnessed. She's still got cheese on her forehead, but oh god.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like gack cheese on you. But you also tried to bite it, little asshole.
Karma. Cheese karma.
Okay. Alright.
I'm torturing her.
This is gonna be so fun.
She got so many treats today. It's her birthday. She does not need any more because her little buns don't need extra.
Pushing for pushing. Okay. Yes, that is a dog. That everybody in the chat is like, who's asking? Who's Lucy?
Lucifer, that's my
Pupper.
basically Alistar Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. All right.
Just based off of him.
Ba-da-dum. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Maybe.
So, basically, all of you, Chidi indicates for you all to stand on the edge of this circle here. Chidi is set up in the middle. This circle is 30 by 30 feet. You're all standing in with Chidi at the very center. And you're all starting, so there's 10 of you that are on the outside edges here. And since there are so many NPCs, I'm having them all go on the same round. And we'll just do some narrative stuff. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
Great. All right. So you all, like, take your places, and there's this very, like, tense moment that sort of happens as, like, silence descends, and everybody's getting ready. Not exactly sure what's going to happen. You have some kind of idea, but, you know, the Fae is always a strange and complicated place.
Helm's Deep.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Chidi's hands sort of hover over all of the instruments on the table for a moment, and she closes her eyes and just begins to breathe very, very deeply. And it's almost like she's choosing which she's going to start with first. And then her hand, like, stops above the largest of the bells. And she picks it up with a sudden, like, gesture and just, like, strikes it. And there's just this dolorous sound rings out across everything. And it's a sound that you feel rather than here. It's like the last time when you saw Rana doing a ritual for Isolde. It's just you feel it in your bones, and it quiet as the bell fades. And she picks up a smaller one and like chimes it out, and that begins to ring. And then the air around you starts to shift. You all smell like flowers suddenly on the wind, like passes over you. And again, just with quick motion, she starts picking up bells, ringing them in unison in different types, swinging them around, like this whole complicated process. And she like smacks a drum and like adds that into this. So she's making all of these sounds in the middle of this circle here. And that smell just begins to overwhelm you. And you see that the air in front of you changes. It's hard to say because air doesn't have a color, but you swear it does as this is happening. It begins to take on these pink and orange and like the hues of a sunset all around you, and the wind is starting to pick up at this point, and it's like reality is starting to phase in front of you between where you are and a much more beautiful place, a place that's just all summer and light and life. And you hear the creaking of an ancient tree coming from somewhere beyond you, and you begin to see it like in front of Chidi, out of the ground, and you're not sure if it's the ground here or the ground in the Fae, but it's all the same indifferent at the same time. It begins to sprout out, and you see these branches starting to pull themselves out of the ground as this tree that's just this impossibly beautiful shade of like verdant green starts to crawl forward, and you see Chidi is just like ringing these bells, and like sweat is starting to pour down her face, like as this tree is starting to like crawl into this reality. It's the only way you can explain it. And then you begin to hear this shattering sound, and the wind changes very sharply as this like gust, these gales of Arctic wind start to swirl around, and like all of a sudden the kind smells are gone and teeth are rattling all around you, and you begin to see these figures start to show up in this circle here. And they have like these blue sort of bulbous bodies that are suspended on these dragonfly wings. It's like they just pop into existence all around you, and they have these impossibly wide smiles that you can see just these rows of teeth behind are clattering at you, and all of them are holding these little spears. 10 of them swarm into existence in the middle of this circle here. And that's where we're starting. So
I'm picturing like flying demonic blueberries.
Super evil. Let's see if I can show you a photo without ruining. Wait.
Oh, okay. Totally different.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's sort of these like pointy, strange, like blue things that almost look like a cross between like shards of ice and like these little like goblin creatures. They're about like a foot in size, suspended on these wings. All right, we're starting it off. Farah, what's the plan? All of them very clearly turn towards Chidi and the tree in the center of this circle.
Sure. Okay, so sorry, I should have asked this before. Can we go into the circle?
Yes.
Or do we have to? Okay.
You can.
Um,
Chidi is at the center of the circle. Yeah, and these things are also now kind of on the periphery of the circle, very close to where you are.
Gotcha. Okay. So she's going to actually start out by running into the center of the circle next to Chidi and casting Spirit Guardians.
Nice. Good. Super cool. All right.
Yeah, and that's gonna be her turn.
Yeah, so Farah moves into the center, and you surround Chidi with these swirling nudie angels.
Understand me even better after this.
Yeah. Yeah, and Chidi has just enough time to kind of glance at you and like give a cursory nod again as she's like ringing these bells here, and just all of her attention is focused on this tree that's like, now it seems to be like almost wilting and like struggling, like as these Arctic gales are just surrounding this. All right, so Farah moves in the middle, and then Arnadel, what are you doing?
Same.
Hot
I know, that's where I'm like, what have I got?
What have I got?
I was gonna do, I guess I could do Wall of Light.
Very cool.
And I want to put it up as a barrier
Yeah.
between these little assholes.
Okay. Do you want to do a ring around Chidi, or do you want to do a
Yeah.
dome? Or
A ring would be sick.
Hell
That's
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, you can definitely, with your mileage, you can put a
Like, pew!
yeah, glowing ring of light.
Yes, I will be concentrating on this.
Okay.
And the spell save would be, let's see, Constitution has to be 17.
Okay.
So the area, whatever, they have to make a Constitution saving throw, and if they fail it, it's 4d8 radiant damage, and they're blinded for 1 minute.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's half the damage, and they're not blinded. And then they would, if they are blinded, they'll need to make that Constitution saving throw at the end of their turn.
Okay. Is everybody going to be affected by this right now because you sprung it up in the middle? Everybody who can see it?
It just says each creature in its area must make a Constitution saving throw.
That's going to be everybody.
And the wall, yeah.
All right, so everybody go ahead and roll that Constitution
But
save.
it does block the line of sight and
Ooh, nice.
around the person that's concentrating.
Oh, shit. Let's hope Chidi doesn't fail.
27.
Oh, shit. I thought her eyes were closed.
They were when she started, but she's going.
Oh.
I'll let you take it back if you want.
Yeah, I think maybe that's
Okay.
the best, because
All right.
I don't want to that's like pretty damaging.
She'll be
'cause
inside a wall.
Right,
Every
like-
turn. Yeah.
I was thinking that it just affected bad creatures.
All
and people
creatures
get
is
close.
everybody.
Sorry, guys. I thought that was a really bitchin' thing to do. Let me, fuck it. I'll just Eldritch Blast the little fuckers.
All right.
I'm going to aim for 3. I get 3, right? Or is
Yes.
it still just 3? Yeah, that's right.
Hell you.
All right. So number 1, that's going to, oh my God, I forget my spell attack. That's 25.
Yeah.
No, 26 to hit.
Yes, that will hit.
All right, so that's 1 hit. Number 2 is definitely, because that's going to be a 28
Hell
to hit.
yeah.
And then the next one is going to be 24 to hit.
Okay, yes,
Nice.
all of those hit.
Sick. That was a bitchin' roll. Thank you, dice. Where were you all this time?
Where were you?
So the first one, oh my God, is it really 1d10 plus 5? Okay, so that's going to be 9 damage for the first one.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. That's going to be 14 damage for the second one.
Oh, very nice.
And 12 damage for the third one.
Okay. Sweet. So 3 of them, you deal, you're sending out your Eldritch Blasts, and you do a hefty blow to all of them, but 3 of these creatures are still, up in the air, and they turn, towards you, their heads snap, independently of their bodies and look back at you, and they go... as they look at
Ew.
you. All right, and then we have Nassim with Sage on deck.
Okay, I'm gonna break out my water whip.
Aw.
Spend 2 key points, and they need to make. One of them needs to make a Dex saving throw. 16.
All right. Woo! I definitely made that. Unfortunately, that is a 22.
Okay, well, I need to roll 3. Oh, d10s. Fuck. Whoops. Okay, let me find those. 3d10 for bludgeoning damage, and then they'll take half of that. And I'm gonna choose. Oh wait, I guess on failure.
Are you?
Oh no, I can still choose to. No, I guess I don't pull it close to me because it failed. But I just do give it damage, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Spank
All right.
it. Are you hitting one of the ones that Arnazel already hit?
No.
Okay.
I guess not.
Do it. Give me that damage.
7, 8, 9. Plus, I guess, Dex. Oh shit. 13.
Okay. Ow, that's a lot of damage. What does it look like when you whip one?
You see, out of what looks like thin air, but it's really the moisture in the air, as well as the ground and certain plants around the vicinity, water starts to form in front of Saya, and then she starts spiraling faster and faster and faster until it shoots out into a long whip, and it like goes and whacks one of them right out of the air and like kind of knocks it out of its flight course for a second.
Yeah, those of you who understand Sylvan hear a very mean string of bad words coming out of this little.
I understand Sylvan.
Yeah, this thing is like calling you, mother's son of a droplet that's been rolled between a troll's ass and like all this like crazy shit.
Oh wow.
You little pest.
Wow.
They are rude. Okay, and then all right, Kara, we are up to you.
Kara is going to grab the shoulder, gently grab the shoulder of Cheetah
Cheating.
and say, "Don't worry, I'll protect you." And she's gonna cast Warding Bond on her.
Oh, that's very good. I like that a lot. Tell the audience at home what does that do?
Yes, so I've created mystical connection between us. And then so Cheaty will have a +1 to their AC and all saving throws and resistance to all damage.
Damn.
Oh shit, that's like.
And each time she takes damage, I take damage.
Hell yeah.
Just
That's awesome.
in addition or instead of her taking damage?
In addition.
Oh, okay.
Because Kara also gets all the benefits, right?
I see.
Yeah. So Kara is just the hardest to hit.
Nope.
Ever. Oh man.
Just her.
Okay. That's still super awesome. Okay. So yep. And anything else for Kara? Are you gonna just like kind of post up in the middle by like spirit guardians and everything?
Yes, so she's gonna have like her back facing towards Cheaty, and she's gonna draw her sword and be ready to swing at anything that comes near.
Yeah. And Farah, that your guardians only hurt enemies, right?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. Oh god, that's such a good spell. Okay.
It's my favorite spell.
Yeah. All right. Okay. And then the NPCs are gonna go. So, Aaron is gonna go ahead and fire off a bow wicked quick and kill 2 of the ones that Arnadel hit. Kristoff is gonna go ahead and he draws this like massive great sword from his back, and just with deft fluid movements, he just slices 2 of these things out of the air. Isolde is going to firebolt one of the ones that's hurt by Saye. And then who else do I have? Oh, Mira, you hear a whistling sound, and all of a sudden a albino white lion takes the field. It just comes out of thin air, seemingly. And it goes, and she like throws a finger forward towards this, and the white lion just and like eats one of these things.
Whew.
Okay. And then we come to the Fae. So after all of that, there are 4 still left on the field. All right, and let me go ahead and see if they survive some spirit guardians. That's a Constitution save?
Wisdom.
Oh, wisdom. Oh, they're not so wise.
Good.
Okay. 2 18s and a 12.
Okay, so 2 pass, 1 fails.
Okay.
So that is 8 plus 3 is 11 plus 4 is 15 total.
Okay.
So.
Ow. One of them is dead. Okay, but one makes it through. Oh, wait, 15 was the total?
Mm-hmm.
And so halved is 7?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay, so 2 look very hurt. Okay, and then, but the other, so that's 3. That's are gonna be swinging at Cheaty. Okay, so one of them manages to hit. Alright, and then what are there? Ew. Okay, so these things, they have both bows, and they also have these weapons that now that you see them up close, Kara and Farah, since you're right there in the center, they look like icicles that they just have, and like they raise above their heads like daggers and start like stabbing down into Cheaty. So that is luckily not going to be too much damage since they're wee. 4 piercing plus 6 cold damage.
And Cheaty has resistance to all damage.
Okay. Perfect. So 2 and 3. All right. So she has been hit this round. So that is a penalty against You all, one strike.
Uh,
Boom. All right. And then as this happens, and Chidi is just like taking it like a champion as she's getting like stabbed into by these things in front of her, but she's still going and waving those bells wildly about. And you see the tree now. It's got like a big crown of branches that's sticking up. So it's like this tree is just like descending on an elevator out of the earth, and you begin to see like some of the Arctic wind, like for a moment, is suppressed as this tree is moving its limbs like delicately and seeming to grow like right in front of your eyes here as this tree is coming up. So we're still here, we're still in business, but then you begin to hear popping sounds coming from all around the circle, and you see 10 more of these creatures appear on the field. So there are 3 right now currently on Chidi, and 10 more have appeared. All right, Farah, we are at you with Arnadel on deck.
okay. So I'm going to go ahead and the ones that showed up, they're like flying, right?
Yep.
Okay. If they're in a cluster, I'd like to like cast a fireball on top of them, but like above so it doesn't catch like the grass and everything.
Okay. I am going. So the ones like on Chidi?
No.
Okay, the ones flying. Yeah, okay. So I'll say probably in a cluster, you could get like 4 of them.
Okay.
Probably around the circle. Since they're all kind of like dispersed like at these angles that you all are.
Okay. 22, 28, 20, 31, 32. So deck saves, DC 17, 32, or 16 points of damage.
No, they all fail. What does it look like when you
Beautiful.
incinerate all 4 of these things?
I
That are
love
made
it.
of ice, by the way.
Yeah, so Farah looks at the 3
so that
that
they're
are
taking like 48 damage.
Farah looks at the ones that are next to her, and like her spirit guardians just kind of like wink at her like, we got this. And she's like, thanks. And then her eyes glow gold for a second, and she gets this kind of like demonic smirk on her face as she just, her hands glow and she hurls out a fireball and just incinerates these guys.
Yeah, and rather than like pop or whatever, these things just fly into shards that you see actually like just burst into ice and then melt before your eyes. There's like this wall of steam, like where these 4 little fae were. Rad. Arnadel, we're up to you with Saye on deck.
I think I want to try this Murder of Ravens thing out. I have not used it yet.
Tell me.
It's a ranged attack.
Yes.
15 feet.
Yes.
I'm basically going to cast a big old swarm of ravens so it's whatever, I want to concentrate it at like if there's a couple of these little fuckers, or the way that I was trying to do Wall of Light, would I be able to have them like kind of circle around her? Like
is it a single target or an area, or
what does it exactly say?
It says I have the ability to bring them forward. I can manifest them. They deal 2d6 plus charisma. Okay, so 1 target. Okay, so I'm gonna handle that. They're gonna go to one of the little dudes. One of the dudes that's attacked like on not Mira, the other one. Chibi.
Chidi.
So Chidi.
Chibi, so cute.
Chidi.
Hell yeah. All right. So I make a
I think it just automatically deals that damage.
So probably a spell attack then?
It's a standard action. I don't think I manifest them and they deal 2d6 plus charisma at 1 target.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll a spell attack for me? Because I don't think.
Because I basically summon them in the same space that the target occupies.
All right. Well, let's do it then. Roll that damage.
And they dissipate after the attack. So it's just like a one-shot thing. Sorry, I was just like reading it. I suck at multitasking. I cannot read and listen at the same time. All right, so that's 2, 3, Oh my god. Why the fuck? Let's see. Where's my charisma? 8 damage on one of those dudes.
Okay.
Cool. That's it.
Okay. What does it
That's
look
it.
like when you summon a swarm of raven? Like, how does that work?
I would love to imagine that, you know, when is it Arwen or Eowyn? Arwen. When she does that river spell and she's like gets all freaky and like summons those horses,
Yeah.
the horse waves.
Yeah.
Arnidal kind of does that shit, and all of a sudden these ravens like kind of cloud mist out, and then they appear.
Hell yeah.
In a similar way, and just like fucking freak them out, and then that thing is shards.
Yeah, because they begin to tear at this thing, and they like go immediately for like the eyes and the little body, and like rip the wings off, and like suddenly like all like these ravens just devour one of these fae that is attacking Chidi. Hell
Sick.
yeah. All right, and then Saye, we are at you with Kara on deck.
Okay, so is there still like a group still in the air together, close enough to each other?
Sure. Tell me how many. Because like Fireball was a 15-foot radius, right?
Yeah, I'm going
So,
for 15-foot cone with burning hands.
Yeah, I'll say you can get 4.
Sweet. I'm gonna do that.
Because that's like half the circle.
For sure. Let's do that. I calm down the waters I had controlled a second ago, and then I bring my hands together again to start the flames
You being
of
so
burning
Avatar.
hands.
I'm into this.
Hell yeah. And I'm gonna cast it at a higher level too, so I'm gonna use 4d6. They need to make a dex saving throw of 16.
Okay, nope. 1 makes it. 2 make it. So 2 yes, 2 no.
Okay.
But also fire damage, just kill. They might still die.
Yeah, thank you for the reminder that they were ice, because I've ignored that fact.
They are Ice Fae of the Winter Court.
Ooh,
Bad news
icy.
there. It's all about winter and misery on that side of the Fae Court.
16 damage.
Ooh, okay.
8 for 2 of them.
All right. So that's gonna be still 16 for 2 of them. Yep, they all die. They all die. Okay. So yeah, what's it look like when 4 of them die? What's your cool shit?
I imagine a lot of squealing and crackling and nasty smell of burnt flesh, and also something kind of pleasant about the ice melting too. So very disturbing.
Nice little droplets, so sparkly. All right, so all right, you've taken down 8 of these things this round. Awesome. Okay, and then Kara, we are at you.
So Kara's gonna run immediately towards whichever ones she can get to first and swing at them with her sword.
Hell yeah. So there are 2 that are still like attacking Chidi, and then there are 2 left in the circle. Which ones would you like to go for?
The ones that are attacking her.
Okay.
Ooh, and she's gonna use her bonus action to raise. So as she lifts her sword to the air and points it to the sky, and she's like, I could really use a hand here. And you see behind her these spectral images of these dwarves who look suspiciously like her appear behind her. And you see one, he's dressed in these like beautiful like gold leafed robes. And the other one is he looks like just like Kara, who's holding an axe and a shield. And yeah, and then she goes to swing at one of them that's attacking Chidi.
Dad power.
Dad power, and that is an unnatural 20 to hit.
Boom. Yes.
Oh yes, and 11. 13. That's gonna be 19 damage.
Yeah, you've. How do you want to kill that one?
Oh boy, yeah, and then she like swings her sword down and right through its torso. You just see these shards of like glass almost just fleck off until it just completely disintegrates.
Yeah.
And she swings her sword around again and goes to strike at the next one.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. That's a 16.
That is going to do it. Yep,
Oh, nice.
just barely. These little fuckers are fast. They're not wearing a lot of or any armor, but they are lightning quick.
They Nike.
And that's 18
Oh.
damage to the
Are
second
they like
one.
those
Yep.
methods?
They're way worse than Mephits because they can fly. Okay. Yep, you absolutely destroy this other one too. That was already injured by the spirit guardians.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, and she just cleaves through this one. And you hear the crackling.
What? You went
Hear
quiet.
the crackling of thunder somewhere in the background.
Somewhere somebody cried thunder. Somebody did it. Okay, cool. And then we come to our NPCs here, and they make very short work between the albino lion that's running around, Aaron's arrows, Kristoff's great sword, and his old spell slinging. They totally take out too. So the field goes silent as you have killed 20 of these things so far. And that moment passes, and you can all again hear the bells still ringing. And the tree now is almost fully out of the ground at this point. And you can see that instead of like normal brown bark, it's like the scintillating rainbow of colors that just pass over its surface, and it's changing from these beautiful autumn reds to the greens of spring to like the purples of a lovely twilight. It's fucking incredible. And the tree is swaying almost in time to the ringing of bells at this point, as it's like seeming to enjoy being summoned. And again, that smell of flowers is returning to the air as the tree is becoming more and more present in this reality. But again, that winter gale comes one more time, and you see 10 more of these things pop out on the field. Farah, we are up to you with Arndell on deck.
Yeah, I think at this point, seeing that most of the tree has come up, she just enjoyed the effect of her last move.
Yeah.
And she, like, at this point, you know, within her 6 seconds, she's just like slinging fireballs at them in the air.
Hell yeah. Go for it.
All right, so that's going to be, and it's a 20-foot radius, by the way.
Whew. Okay, yeah, you can, yeah. I will say it's probably still, because circles are hard, I think you can probably only still get 4.
That's fair. Okay, so that's going to be, god damn, that's a lot of 4s.
Wish I had paid attention more in geometry.
Who knows? Who would have known it would have helped you in D&D?
Only reason. If I had known.
All right, so 24 total.
Okay, so even if it's halved, 24 will kill them. So I'm not even gonna roll. You just explode 4 more
Cool.
of these things. Holy crap!
Beautiful.
Her tail is just flicking around excitedly.
You all see Farah in the center just throwing fucking fireballs, exploding everywhere.
Which,
my
like,
God.
she's just like the excitement that she's like, I haven't had to heal. This is the other side of me.
This is who I am now. All right, and then Arnadel, we are up to you with Saye on deck. So there are 6 of these things.
I'm gonna try to take out 3 of them with more Eldritch Blast.
Pop, 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 pop. Go.
So number 1, probably not. That's gonna be a 12.
Nah, they dance out of your way.
Number 2 is gonna be a 20.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 1 hit. And number 3 is going to be pardon, yeah, neighbor dog. An 18 to hit.
Yes, the 18 will do.
All right, Lucy, be quiet. Tiny dog. All right, so number 1 bit of damage is 9 points.
All right.
And number 2 is going, fuck yes, 15 points of damage.
Nice.
Yeah, the 15 points pops. What does your Eldritch Blast look like when you kill it?
Oh, it's not that. It's lightning. Remember?
Oh, yeah. So
It's just like, maybe you see it like like the crystalline structure of ice. You see like the lightning
bounce around like in it.
Yeah, like what like it's water's a conduit, right?
Very cool. Yeah, so this thing lights up like a Christmas tree before exploding. Yeah, ice sparkles. Close your eyes. All right, and you do a solid blow on the other one. And then Saye, we come to you with Kara on deck.
Yeah. So with, I guess you knocked out 2 of them.
One is still going. It does not look good. But there are 4.
Oh, there's only one left?
No, I'm sorry. There are 4 that have not been touched, and then 1 that looks very injured.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to go for the 4 that haven't been touched with my burning hands once again. So
I love all
Nice.
this fire, man. This is going great.
We learn.
Ah!
Fire seemed to do good. Do a fire.
Do a fire. Yes, good.
burn, die. And roll a dex of 16, please.
Why don't you roll your damage first, and we'll see if... Because even
Feels
if the
somehow
half...
right.
Yeah. Because they take double damage from fire.
For sure. I'm going to do it at another higher level. So 4d6. 10. 18.
So 9 would be half, which would still be 18, which would still kill them all. So...
Woo!
Yep. And what's your sick move this time?
This time, I guess I'm going to do like a sweeping movement in like superhero stance where I'm like forming the cone in the air first as it gains power, and then like scraping the ground like a matchstick with my fingertips.
Very
To,
cool.
like ignite a full fucking cone.
That is so fucking cool. Yes. Yes. All right. So you murder. So there is one sad one left. And Kara, we are at you.
Kara's like, oh, wow. That's pretty cool. It's like all seeing all these like fire explosions and they're just like melting away, and she just like casually runs after the last
Yeah, like
oh, I'm doing my thing.
I got it, guys.
no,
Don't
good.
worry.
It's good.
And that is a 21 to hit.
Yeah. Just tell me how you kill it. It's already so hard. From Eldritch Blast, it's so hard.
Casually runs over, like swings up her sword and just like training manual chop.
Yeah. Oh my god, yes. Yep, so you do, and just this thing like shatters in half. And then all of your NPCs are standing around sort of like, oh, because you all killed like all 10 of them. And then there's, again, we return to that silent moment here. And Mira now, you see she's put down all the other bells, and she's maintaining like a drum rhythm with one of her hands. And then in the other, she is using the smallest bell that you've seen. It's about like the size of one of those like tiny jingle bells. She's just ringing it. You can't even like hear it from this distance here. But the tree now is like almost completely fully here, and its branches were kind of tight at first, but now it's starting to unfurl, so you're seeing like this big canopy of those rainbow colors again is starting to emerge and stretch towards the borders of the circle, very like tree of life just coming up and like over you. You're starting to like feel, if it was daytime, you'd be in shade at this point. And yeah, it's a beautiful moment. And then there's like this crashing sound of like glass that comes from somewhere. And again, there's like that shifting atmosphere that you've been experiencing before, where you're getting like seeing patches of this other place. Now it turns again, it's all just snow and cold, and this very dark figure emerges. And this thing is just, it towers probably about 10 feet tall or so. It seems to be vaguely human shaped, like if a person had their limbs stretched like in every direction, and just like these long jagged fingers. You're not sure if it's rock or flesh or what, but this thing like is wearing this leathery suit of dried skin, something you're not really sure what, and it comes forward, and then the fluttering of many of these creatures appears as 20 of these things take the field, and the spindly figure. Boss round! All right. Farah, we are at you.
Okay. Cool. So
Cool.
she was all excited because she was like, this is going great.
Yeah.
And then this
right.
fucking creepy person. But she's just going to once again, she's just gonna throw a fireball in the direction to try to gauge to see if this big boss has the same kind of weaknesses as the other guys, and hoping to catch the other ones in there as well.
Sure. Yeah,
and
I'll say you can get big guy and like 3 of the little ones.
Okay. I'm gonna have to cast it 4th level. So. All right, so I need to just start using the dice roller like
Yeah, at a certain level you just gotta use the dice roller.
Okay, that's gonna be 26, 29, 32, 40, no, 34, and then 39.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, 3 of the tiny fae are definitely going to die. You see the creature, like this jagged thing, it like raises up a hand, and like this cloak of like skin comes in front of it again, and you see the fire just bounces like off the edge of it as it makes this very weirdly graceful motion. So it doesn't really seem if you did hit it, like, and it took damage, it definitely wasn't like the huge effect that it's had on the
Bitch nips.
others.
Okay. All right. And then she's just gonna stand, like, position herself so that she's standing in front of Chidi at this point.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and then Arnadel, we are at you with Sae on deck.
What's the range here?
So everything is within. It's a 30 by 30 foot circle. So everything.
And Chidi's in the center of that.
Yeah, so she's 15
tree.
away from you. Yeah. Wherever
and then
you
this
are
thing is 30 feet away from me.
It's sort of on. Yeah, it's sort of on the periphery.
Damn it!
I mean, you can move.
I
think you can move and probably get to it with almost any spell.
That's not the problem. It's that this spell has such a massive fucking range.
Oh.
It's not gonna.
Yeah,
it wouldn't
harm
harm everything inside.
Everybody.
Damn it!
Oh, the area of effect.
Yeah, that's one hell of an area of effect. Though. All right. Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Gotta aim all 3 of them Eldritch Blasts at Mr. Creepy Thin Man from Pan's Labyrinth.
Slender Man.
Yeah, that was my first thought too.
It's not Slender Man. Guys.
All right. So the first roll is gonna be 25.
That will hit.
Oh my god, it's salad fingers.
It's not salad finger. Guys, stop making fun of my monster.
Next one's gonna be 28.
A 28 will hit, yes.
And then the third one is going to be 26.
Yeah. Yep.
Sick. Fuck yeah, I love this. Thanks, Moonstone Dice. You just really sweet.
Solid,
so that's gonna be the first round of damage is gonna be 13.
Okay.
The next one is going to be 14.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, 14. And then that's just gonna be 6.
Okay. That is still 33 damage, which will be halved.
Whoa! What?
Rude.
Ew.
Extremely rude. Not Slender Man. Extremely rude.
I want this to can I perception check to see if I can sense that or no?
No. Again, it's just this being doesn't seem concerned by such petty things as damage.
Damn it! As 33
hits
of damage leaving its body.
Yes. All right. And then Sae, we are up to you with Kara on deck.
Okay. I want to go to one of the humanoid creatures, and
the little fairy things.
Oh, I thought they were bigger. Yeah.
No, there's the little fairy things. There's 20 of them now, and then there's the one giant creature that stands like 9 feet tall. That's humanoid-ish.
Oh, okay.
Being very liberal.
Well, yeah. Okay, we're gonna go to the giant.
Yeah.
All right, and we're gonna just punch the ever-loving shit out of it.
Okay. Bunches of
Right?
punches.
Right?
I mean, that's-
yeah.
Maybe he's weak to. Maybe he's like, yeah, anti-magic, but everything else, like little weenie man.
Weak to fists.
Big guns.
I can't seem to find my stunning strike on here, but I assume it just needs to make a DC save of 16 as well.
Yeah, so
Um,
Constitution save, right? Yeah.
No, I mean a dex. It would probably be a dex save.
I definitely passed whatever.
Okay, all right. So it's not going to be stunned, but I'm going to be hitting it with my quarterstaff. So with double-handed, we need a D10. So boom, 12 damage,
Okay.
and then extra attack. That's 5 more damage.
Okay.
And then spending another key point. So now I have 2 left. For flurry of blows. So that's another 7 damage. And then another 11 damage.
Okay. Wow.
And then I'm going to use my gift of the motherfucking present.
Holy shit!
Oh my god, so many punches!
And I'm going to do it all again.
Fuck yeah! I will say, as you punch this being, just one, it's like punching rock as you move through. Though you are like punching away at something, like it is hurting your fist.
I am using my quarterstaff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For your key things, you have to do your hands or your feet.
No, if I use a monk weapon, it still counts.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, while you are so close to this thing, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay.
Hold on.
As the aura of winter comes over you.
Ooh, burr.
It's extremely cold. You
She
feel
cold bitch.
very hungry. You don't know why.
It's 21.
Okay. All right. So you are not slowed,
Okay, cool.
but you will still take 7 cold damage as you stand so close to this thing. It's so cold. You feel your skin like blistering just standing next to this thing.
Okay, for
But
sure.
give me all that new damage. I'm ready. You are.
All right, bang, bang, bang.
Hell yeah.
I guess I haven't even been rolling to hit. I've just been rolling
Oh,
damage.
fuck.
Oh.
Oh, shit. Wait, you should roll to hit because his
Yeah.
AC is a lot.
Okay,
And
so
oh no.
I have it all.
First-
I have all the damage written down. Yeah.
first unarmed strike. Ooh, okay, natural 1.
No.
I'm getting a little slowed down by the cold.
Ow, it's so cold.
Okay, so then my bonus action to hit is a 16.
No.
Extra attack to hit is a natural 20.
Yes. Well, yeah.
So that is
How about I'll
12
just keep your damage from the other 2.
okay,
that.
12 damage
Okay.
for that one. And then key point again for 2 more hits. That's not gonna hit. I rolled a 4. And that's a 9. I'm not gonna hit that.
Oh no! It
We
was
got
so...
really lucky the first round.
Oh,
man.
boy. All right, so you get 1 solid hit off on this being as it just that eternal cold seeps over you. All right. Then Kara, we are at you.
I was immediately gonna run up towards this motherfucker and start swinging her sword left and right and center on this being.
You
All right.
can try.
All right, so first hit. Ooh, that is a 28.
Yes.
Second hit. That is a 19.
No.
Oh, dang. All right. And then she's going to use her War Priest feature to use her bonus action to strike again.
Oh boy.
And that will be an unnatural 20.
That will not hit.
Oh, wow. Sing's AC is really high. All right. So then she's just going to get 1 hit. And that is going to be 10, 15, 21 damage.
Whew. Okay. All right. That's with your
Yeah.
magic sword.
A magic sword. And that is her turn.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Gladler. 24.
Okay. So you are not slowed, but you will take 5 cold damage as you're just standing by this thing. And it turns towards both of you as you're like peppering it with attacks, and you see there's carved hollows in its eyes that have these very, very small like pinpoints of blue light, but other than that there's not an actual like flesh
What's
eye
its
in this
face
thing.
look like?
It looks like it's sort of carved like human head shaped, but it's like elongated, like its whole body has been stretched out, and it's got just blue and like sort of jagged like frosty skin. So almost like a creature that was like froze to death and then was like pulled on a rack. And it's sort of got like its hair is like up in these sort of icicles. It's very, very freaking weird looking.
And since I'm raging, my spirit dads are all harrying him as well. And like getting all up in his face and stuff like that. So until the start of my next turn, Salad Fingers is gonna have disadvantage on any attack rolls other than me, and if someone else does get hit by him, they'll have resistance to damage from him.
Is very good. Okay, so our NPCs, here we go. So Mira and her lion are gonna take out 1. Kristoff can take out 2. Aaron can take out 2. Isolde can get 1. Oh boy, that's still a lot of these things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these things are gonna charge in towards Chidi. So let's do some Spirit Guardians.
Okay, so that is going to be 16 damage.
Okay.
Wisdom save DC 17.
Okay. Boy. All right. So 16 damage?
Yeah.
That is very good for you. 7 of these things fail and die.
Oh wow.
What does it look like? What does it look like when your spirit guardians kill 7 of them?
So they're doing their usual circling around, and they just see all these little blueberries, and they just like, for once, the thighs are not their choice. They just pluck them up between each finger and just like crush them between their fingers.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So good. Awesome. But 4 of them are going to try and attack her. Okay. 1 miss. 2 miss. 3 miss. Oh, that last one's gonna hit. Okay. Alright, that is 2 strikes against y'all. Let's... Okay, so that is gonna be 4 piercing. And 4 cold damage. So half for you, Kara. So 2 and 2.
Yeah, she takes 2 and 2.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. You all have 2 strikes. You want to guess how many is left? And this is as this weird ice corpse creature pushes past you and is like clearly trying to go for her. So attacks of opportunity from Saye and Kara.
Whoa, show.
Do good.
Oh yes, that is a 22.
22 is not going to hit. It bounces off of its chitinous ice.
Ooh, yes. 23 to hit.
That is your number.
Woo, whoa, really?
Right.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
Wow. I wouldn't have made any of those other ones.
Oh, the natty 20 got it though.
You know what? Actually, can I use my gift to give Kara D8 to hit as well?
Hell yeah, you
Ooh.
can.
I always forget about it.
Ooh, nice. So that's a 22 plus 7 is 29.
That will do.
Hell
Get in
yeah.
there, ladies.
Thanks, Farah.
I don't know what I'm doing. Help.
That is 17 damage.
Okay. Yay. All right. That you take a big chunk out of this thing. It feels like you're doing something for the first time.
I did something.
Yay! Okay. All right. And Sae, did anything make it through?
Well, yeah, I had one hit, right?
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
what was your
12
damage?
damage.
Oh, 12 damage. Okay. Sweet. All right. This thing still continues on and pushes through both of these attacks as it's just making away. Like, clearly it's like sunken orbs like centered on Chidi, and it just strides forward here. Spirit Guardians?
That's not as good. So that's gonna be 9.
Luckily did get a natty 1. So 9. So again, you're like, your swinging boys like come through and like are peppering this thing, but just like this relentless pressing on as this thing is just locked eyes with this with the poor like woman. She's there now and just like she looks exhausted and like clammy at this point. Like she's been doing this and focusing on this ritual, and she has like just enough time to kind of flick her eyes upward as this thing like draws back these like raked fingers and is about to bring them down. And then you all see this flurry of movement all of a sudden as this like rainbow prism thing like happens, and the tree has reached down a bunch of its branches and like crushes this thing as you see this like ice man go flying up into the air, and you hear like the tinkling sound of like wind chimes from somewhere, and then just this shattering sound as the tree just crushes this thing into dust. And Chidi like strikes this final dolorous tone, and there's this like sigh that comes out of the tree, and all of a sudden the winter gales are gone, and all of these fae around you just like it's gone. And that delightful smell of flowers and summer and everything good in the world is just exuding from this tree that now, like, after making this move with the branches, returns to just this giant, like, canopy that stretches over, like, the whole of the town square of New Breach. And you all stare up at this fae tree that has been brought to New Breach. And that's where we're going to end for today! Yay! You did it! You brought the Feywilds to New Breach.
Oh my god, you know what I just realized?
Huh.
We never did our initial
Intro?
intros.
Oh, shit!
Oh.
We did it! Oh my god, I got so excited! I was too
Yeah, we
excited
are.
talking about Halloween. That was our intros. Fuck everybody. Okay, well, let's go around. This time, we really, really, really have to make it count because we're doing double duty.
Feel like a hi bye.
Well, shit. Thank you, everybody, so much for hanging out. I have been your dungeon master, Celeste Conowitch.
I've been your moon elf warlock, Arna Delathil, played by Brittany Quintero.
I have been Katie, your tantalizing tiefling, Fairvillain.
And I, Nassim, have been your somewhat forgetful human monk, Sayonara.
And I'm Kara. I'm your choppin' cleric,
Hell yeah.
barbarian thing,
A real cleric.
played by Sage.
Yes, thank you everyone so much. I'm sorry we missed the intros. I was very nervous about playing 20 NPCs at the same time. It's okay.
Reasonable.
We did good. Thank you everybody so much for tuning in. If you're new to the stream or the show, welcome. This is Venture Maidens. We're an actual play D&D podcast. You probably figured that out. We would love if you could go and support us by following us on social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we have a YouTube channel. We would love if you could gift us a sub or a follow on here. That would be absolutely phenomenal. If you want more from us, you can actually go and support us over on Patreon. For only $1 a month, you can get access to an entire new podcast where we're playing Descent into Avernus, which is DM'd by Sage and features a lot of the Maidens and Maidens we've featured on the show. So we'll be back 1 week from today with another episode of that. You all are amazing. Thank you for the follows. You're so great. But I think that's it. And until next time,
Venture
away!
Happy Halloween!
Oh my gosh, happy Halloween! Venture away, everybody! All right, and we are